Okay, today we're going to look at 8.6, solve by factoring. So we're going to use all our factoring skills we've been working with in, 8.1 through 8.5, and we're going to actually solve equations now. So to solve equations, what we have to do is we have to isolate the variable on one side of the equal sign and then the numerical part on the other side of the equal sign. So when we solve polynomial equations, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to first get the polynomial all to one side and 0 on the other side. So we want to get everything in the polynomial on one side and 0. Then what we're going to do is we're going to factor that polynomial. And then what we're going to do is with those factors, we're going to use the zero product rule to actually solve it. And so what is the zero product rule? So it says if A and B, I don't know why I put an E there, but A and B are non-zero factors, then A times B is equal to 0 implies either A equals 0, B equals 0, or both A and B equals 0. And so what that means is we're going to set each of the factors equal to 0. So maybe we have x plus 4 and x minus 5 equals 0. So that's what we factored on the left side of our trinomial. And what we're going to do is we're going to set each one of those factors equal to 0 and see what we get. Okay, and so that's what we're doing. We're going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve for the variables. So we have x plus 4 equals 0, and we have x minus 5 equals 0. So how do we solve that? Well, we subtract 4 from both sides, and we get x equals a negative 4, or here we add 5 to both sides. We get x equals 5. And so what we then do is we have to make sure to check our solution to see if it really works or not, and or if it's a valid solution. And if it is, then we use both of them. If it's not, whichever one doesn't make sense, we throw out. And usually when we work with distance problems or something like that, the negative one doesn't work. So we'll throw it out, but the positive one works. And so that's why we have to kind of verify the solutions that are going to hold true. And so that's what we do. And so again, the first one is just kind of like what we did there before, solve each equation by factoring. That's what we're going to do the whole time. Well, they set this up for us, so all we have to do is set each of the factors equal to 0 and solve. So x minus 1 equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. So if we add 1, we get x equals 1. Here we subtract 4, and x equals a negative 4. So both of these are going to be solutions to this factored trinomial. Okay. Now it's not always going to be that easy. Sometimes we actually have to do the factoring ourselves. Okay. So what do we do when we have to factor? Well, we do the same thing we've been doing. We pull out our 2 in this case because that's a common GCF. We have n squared plus 5n minus 14 equals 0. So then we have 2 times, and then we factor that trinomial. Well, it's going to be n times n, and it's going to be a plus and it's going to be a minus. And now we want the larger factor to be positive, the smaller to be negative. So two factors of 14 that multiply to 14, but when you subtract them, we get 5. Well, that would be 7 and 2, because 7n minus 2n is 5n, and 7 times a negative 2 is negative 14. All right. Now, when we get this GCF of a common, just a number here, what we can do is we can divide both sides by that number. And when that does is gives us just the terms with factors of the variable that we're looking for. Another thing we can do is we can just drop it off, because we know if we take 2 divided by 2, that's 1. 0 divided by 2 is still 0. And so it's doing the same thing. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll just drop it off and I won't even worry about it. And then I'll just look at the factors and see what they say. Well, that's n plus 7 equals 0 and n minus 2 equals 0. Now, the more we do this, the more we'll be able to do it in our head. But for now, we'll go ahead and do the subtraction. So n is equal to a minus 7. Here we'll add 2 to both sides, and n is equal to 2. And again, both of these will work into this original equation, because it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative distances, and so that'll work. Now, if you always want to check, that would be a good thing. If you actually plug in negative 7 in and square it, and times 2 plus 10 times the negative 7 minus 28, that should be equal to 0. And same thing if you plug in the 2 there. All right, what about number 3 here? How can we factor that? Well, I don't see anything that we can factor out as a GCF, so that means it's back to trial and error. So I'm going to say, well, it's 5n and n. And now I have to think of factors of 2. Well, that's going to be 1 and 2. So I don't know which one's going to go which place. And I know the larger one I want to be negative. It's going to be opposite signs. And so if I take 5 times 2 is 10, and then minus 1, well, that's 9. So I got it in the right spot. And we want the larger one to be negative, so it's going to be a minus 2 and a plus 1. So that's 5n squared minus 10n plus 1n, so that's going to be minus 9n minus 2. And now I set each one of those factors equal to 0. So 5n plus 1 equals 0, and n minus 2 equals 0. Well, the easy one is adding 2 to both sides. We get n equals 2. Now here we have to subtract 1 first. We get 5n equals negative 1. Now we have to divide by 5 because we need to get rid of that 5 in front of n. So then we get n equals negative 1 over 5. So again, we're going to get two solutions. Both solutions are going to work in this original equation, and it doesn't matter. We're not doing distance, length, or anything else. And so there's no restrictions, so we can use both of those for our answer. All right, what about this one? Well, remember, we have to get 0 on one side and the whole trinomial or polynomial on the other side. So first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of that 5 there. So we're going to add 5 to both sides. So that gives us x squared minus 5x, and 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, now we need to factor this. So that's going to be x, and it's minus and minus. Two factors of 4 that add to 5. Well, the only two factors of 4 that add to 5 are 1 and 4. And so those are going to be what I have there, 1 and 4. Now, I set each of those factors equal to 0. And so I get x equals 1, and I get x equals 4, just taking the 4 to that side and the 1 to that side. Okay, and so I get, again, two solutions. Both solutions will work. There's no restrictions, and so that's what our solution will be then. All right, so this one's just like the last one. We have to get rid of that 8. So what do? Well, we add 8 to both sides. So that gives us 7x squared plus 17x. And then 20 minus 8 is going to be 12, and it's going to be a negative. And so that's going to be our trinomial before we factor it. Now we have to think about what our factors are going to be. Well, 7 is just 7x and an x. Now we're going to have the largest. We're going to have to find factors at 12. Be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Well, I'm going to try and 4. So I'm going to subtract when I get done multiplying. So I'll take the larger. 7 times 4, that's 28. Minus 3 is 25. So nope, those are gone. What about 4 and 3? Well, 7 times 3 is 21. Minus the 4, well, that's going to give me 17. And so that looks to be the correct things. And I want this one to be negative, so it can be, I want that one to be positive, rather, sorry, because I want the larger one to be positive, and that one is going to be negative. So now I have two factors. I can set both of them equal to 0. So I have 7x minus 4 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. Well, this is easy. Take the 3 to the other side. We get, so we get 7x equals 4 divided by 7. So my second solution. Again, no restrictions on this problem, and so both solutions should work when we plug it back in and do our check. And you can plug that in with your calculator, do a quick check, make sure it does work. Remember, when you have squared terms, you're going to do 7 parenthesis minus 3 squared, then plus 17 times a negative 3, and then minus 20. When you hit equals, it should be that negative 8 is what it should equal. Okay, so go back to that original equation to make sure it works. Again, you need parentheses when you have those negatives. And now when you have the fractions, you're going to want parentheses too. So you're going to want 4, and then divided by 7 squared, and then plus 17 times 4 over 7, then minus 20. And again, that should equal negative 8 when you get done. All right, what about the next one? Okay, so here we don't have 0 on the right side, so we have to get the 0 over there. And so let's see here. To do that, we'll subtract 16 from both sides. So x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Now we have it in the form we need. So now what can we do to factor? Well, that's going to be x and x. And what factors of 16 when you subtract them give us 6? Well, let's write our factors of 16 down. That's 1 and 16. Well, 16 minus 1 is not 6. 2 and 8, 8 minus 2, hey, that's 6, that'll work. So let's stop there because that should be our answer. And so we have a 2 and we have an 8. We want the larger one to be negative, so that's going to be the larger, that's the smaller. So here we have x squared minus 8x plus 2x, so it's going to be minus 6x minus 16, and then that equals 0. So now we set each factor equal to 0. So here x is equal to a minus 2, and here x equals a plus 8. And again, plugging those back in to your equation is going to give you what you need as far as your answer there. All right. I guess I better circle my answers. Again, no restrictions, so both answers should work. Okay, here we have 45 over here. So let's add 45 to both sides. So what does that give us? 35x squared plus 120x plus 45 equals 0. Now what can we do there? Well, I notice I have a factor of 5 I can pull out. I don't know if there's anything else, but 5 for sure. And then that's going to give me 7x squared plus, that's going to give me 24x, and then that 5 is going to be plus 9 equals 0. Okay. Now remember, when we had that 5, we can just throw it away when we get to the point where we have factors. But we'll leave it there for now. So that's 7x and x equals 0. They're going to be both plus. Now what factors of 9? Well, 9 is 1 and 9 and 3 and 3. So let's try 3 and 3 because those are my favorite, the middle ones. So 7 times 3 is 21, plus 3 more is 24. Boom, we've got our answer. So we don't have to do anything else. And so now, this factor we can throw away because when we divide by 5, it gets 0 and 1. So now all we have to worry about is this and this. So 7x plus 3 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. Well, that's just x equals a negative 3. Now this is a two-step one, so let's do both steps. So 7x equals a negative 3, divide by 7. So x equals a negative 3 over 7. So that's one solution. That's our other solution. Now again, need no restrictions on this. So if we plug both of these in, they should both work. And so we just plug it into the left side, and then when we get done, that should equal a negative 45 on both accounts. All right, now we have a whole bunch of stuff on each side. So now we kind of want to look and see where would we get the positive highest term? Well, here we have a 9x squared. Here we have an 8. So let's take everything to the left. So we'll subtract 7x, subtract 8x squared, and subtract 3. So we're going to subtract 8x squared, subtract 3, and subtract 7x. And when we do that, those are gone, that's gone, that's gone. So over here, well, guess what? Oh, that's gone there too. So now we just have x squared, and then we have minus 46 minus 3 is minus 49 equals 0. Well, guess what? That's the difference of squares. So that's just x plus 7, x minus 7 equals 0. And so we set each of those equal to 0. And so we get x equals a negative 7, and we get x equals a positive 7. And again, no restrictions were given for the problem, so when we plug them both back into the original equation, we should get both of them to be correct answers and both of them be solutions to this question. All right, guess what? We have the same thing again. 40 here, only 5 here, so let's go to the left. So subtract p and subtract 5p squared. All right, so those are gone. And so we have 40 minus 5, so that's 35p squared. 183 minus 1, so it's going to be plus 182p minus 168 equals 0. All right. So what do we have here? Well, looks like a big mess because now we have to factor out the 168 because there's nothing we can factor out. So 35 is going to be, I'm hoping 7p and 5p. 168. Okay, well that's going to be 1 and 168. That's going to be 2 and 40. Wait, 2 and 84. And that's going to be 4 and 42. And then it's 5, no, 6. See here, 6 goes in there. I don't know, 168 divided by 6. 2 is 12, 48, 8. So 6 and 28. 7 might go in there. 7 and 168. So times 2 is 14. It's 28. That's 4. 7 and 24. Now about 8. That will be 2, 1. 9. Let's see. 9 shouldn't go, I don't think, but we'll try it. 168 and 9 be 1, 9, 58. No, that doesn't work. 10, 11, 12. Let's start here. Okay. So we need a rather large number here, 182. I don't know. Let's do 8 and 21. So now I'm going to get my calculator out and just kind of play with numbers here. So I'll have 7 times 21, and they're going to be the differences. So minus 8 times 5, that's only 107, so that doesn't work. So what about 21 and 8? And so now we have 7 times 8 and minus 21 times 5. That's only 49, so that doesn't work. So these are pretty small. So I don't know, that's not going to be much different. This one looks to be pretty big. 28, let's try 7 and 28. So 7 times 28, and then minus 30. Yeah, that's still 166. So that's still too small. These are too small. Let's try 4 and 24. So we have 7 times 42. I don't know why I wrote 24. And then we have a minus 20. That's 274. And what about going the other way? 42 and 4. And so if we do that, we have 7 times 4 is 28 minus 42 times 5. That's 182. Ah, that's one we need. So 42 and 4. Okay. Now let's see here. What do we have? The larger one is going to be this one. So that's going to have to be plus. That's going to be a minus. And so now we just do the division. So 7p plus 42 equals 0, and 5p minus 4 equals 0. So subtract 42. 7p equals negative 42. Divide by 7. P equals negative 6. Here we have to add 4 on both sides. And then 5p equals 4. Divide by 5. P equals 4/5. All right, so we get a negative 6 and we get 4/5. And so we kind of went through those pretty quick because we just kept trying numbers that were going to be the largest, and none of those were big enough. And so that's when we got to that one. And so then we got our two factors of minus 6 and 4/5. And again, no restrictions here, so we can use both of those as far as our answer goes. All right, so that's all I have for the first set.